Now, please everyone listen. I have created a new component task here now, just with the tasks, a singular task, and I'll create this one, RAFCE, create the task. Hit save, and I'm not changing anything. We'll change that by the way. Hit save, come to the tasks component. Again, after creating the task, singular one, now come to the tasks component. And here, look at that. Instead of calling this div, I'll comment this out so that you guys have that in front of you, then I'll delete that. Instead of calling this div, I actually want to call here task component. Make sense? There is a step remaining, again, intentional. What is that? Import. You see, I need to bring, and of course, I'm getting an error. I need to do what? At the very top, I'll have to import that. Import. What I have to import? Task from // Now, look at that. Is it? Do I have to go into any other folder? No, because task and tasks are both siblings, remember? So now, just task and hit save. Look at that. Look at the output. You guys understand what I'm trying to do? I hope you know. I will shift this all code to the task component. And for the reason, there's a very important reason behind it. So see what I've done. Those who are just little worried about what I've done, I've just commented out all the code that were running here. So nothing is coming now. Now I'm just calling the task. And why this task is coming 3 times? Anyone? The map is running 3 times because there are 3 tasks, right? Make sense? And I'm calling on the map, I'm calling this task. Make sense, everyone? Because I have one task. There are 3 tasks right now. If I go and remove 2 tasks, it will run only 1 time. If I add hundreds of tasks, it will run hundreds of times. Make sense? Now, rather than deleting this part, I'll just keep this part, right? And you see that this task is coming 3 times. Now, I would say every time when you call this task, whatever task you are reading, pass that as a prop. You guys getting that one? Pass every task as a prop. Now listen, you can name it anything, but I will name it task as well. Look at that. I would say task is equal to curly bracket task. Now, if I ask a question here, this task, it's a question from everyone. This task is this one or this one? Anyone? Is this task or this task? This one. Is this the first one or the second one? Anyone? First one? Second one. You know why? This is the name of the prop here. I'm sending a prop with what name? With task name. What value I want to send? I want to send the task which is under consideration right now. When map is running, every time you get 1 task. So the task is actually this that I want to send. Now, if I ask you another question, if I want to change any of their names, it looks like it's repetitive. Which name I can change? Can I change this one or this one? Anyone? I can just change this one. I can say T is equal to task. Right now? Why? Because task is something which is coming from here. Am I trying to make you understand everything what's happening? So that you know. So task is the name of what? You will say, if I ask you this question in interview, for example, what is the difference between this task and this task? Which task is this? So you will say this task is a prop and this task is the task that is under consideration right now. Because it's in curly brackets, right? It's a done. Okay. So if I'm sending it from here, I have to receive this over here as well. Everyone remembers that? What should I do? Curly bracket and task. Now I've caught the task. After catching it, I don't need to run a map here because I'm receiving only 1 task over here. You guys understand that one? So map is there behind. Now I have 1 task to play with. Can I play with this task? Yes, I can play with this. So if I just come here, instead of this task, if I just put a curly bracket and I say task dot, for example, text. Because the task was for every call, the task which is coming, which is 1 task. And the first task is appointment, second one is doctor's appointment, and third one is gym, whatever. Is that making sense to everyone? You see that I have I have actually decentralized things, and I'm trying to send from tasks to the task component. And there's a very important reason behind that. But do I want to make it like how it was looking like before? Because I do need an icon as well. So what I'll do, I'll copy and paste this code from here. Rather cut and paste, cut. And maybe if I come here and, I can just do what? Put a rounded parenthesis around this and paste that and make it a uncomment. Right. Okay. Thank you. Wonderful. Still, it does not share. Yeah. It has not import FA AccuSoft. Wonderful. I was just waiting for someone to come up. Do you guys know why it has gone abnormal? Because remember, I imported this FA AccuSoft in the previous one. So it does not import automatically. It can use, but it cannot. So, Kalyan, that's wonderful. I'll go back here, and what I'll do, I'll go to the top and I'll cut that there from here. Cut it here and come and paste it after this import React, for example. Do that and hit save. Do you guys understand that one? So now, listen, now we have boiled down to one task at a time. This task component is just receiving one task at a time. Does it become more and more decentralized type of thing that I can now play with this anything and it is actually playing with the tasks? Make sense? Yes, Kash, what is the question? Sorry? Sir? Okay, you're coming here. Just save that. Yeah, there's a problem. Go down. It's not task, it's a prop. Remember, I passed it as a prop. Space, right there, task is equal to 30 bracket task. Task is equal to 20 bracket task. You understand what I'm saying? Wonderful. See that. And now we run that project. That's the next step. Right? And icon you can bring. And by the way, now all of you are settled with this one now. We have got a decentralized task one. Now, I don't want to bring this icon. Rather, you see, I want to bring another icon. And that is called, I'll just tell you, it is called FA times. I'll just change that one. So I can change that, FA times. It's called FA times. And of course, here I'll change that. FA times. This for deletion. Make sense, everyone? And rather than putting it before this, I would like to put it after this, after the text. Are you guys understanding this one? I'll put that after the text. Look at that. Do you guys make sense? I've just changed that. I don't need AccuSoft. And you can use any icons that you want. But I just want this, for deletion. I will use this to delete my task. Make sense? Yeah. Oh, I got it. Actually, every time is FAS. Import two different types. Got it? Okay. Yes, everyone understands that one? And yes, this is your creativity, how much you can just bring those different icons. We're trying to bring that, and again, everyone is from different library. FA is a different library, CG is a different library. You see that there are lots of categories over there. Yes.
Can you show that for the icons?
Yeah, I can show you. Look at that. Go to the React icons page. It's the GitHub page. And let me just close this one. See here, whatever icon you want to bring, for example, you were bringing some CG. I'll just, let's see that. For example, you can bring from anything else. So I brought from Font Awesome. So I go to Font Awesome. And here, Karsh, look at that. Whatever icon you want to bring, just click on this icon and copy the first line, and then you know what you have to do. You have to just use that as an element. Right? Whatever name it is FA angle double right. Do you see how interesting icons are these? You can bring them in application. You remember we did our balls project before this, and that balls project had the left and right. So we can bring these type of icons on that type of application, and use these buttons to do that. Anyhow. All right, so fun stuff. We have reached to a very interesting point. And what is that? I'll show you. that our application now looks like this. Now, let's side by side do something. And do you see that appointment and then this X? Appointment X, appointment X. Do you feel that this X should be on this side? Deletion looks more perfect over there. Is that making sense? Now, let's see how I can do that. So this task.text appointment and this FA times both are in H4 inside that one. And this H4, can I go in my index.css and just write a style for H4? No. Why not? Because there are lots of H4 over here. Maybe there are hundreds of H4. So I'll have to use the contextual selection. Do you guys remember contextual? I will say dot task class inside that whatever H4 is. Are you guys getting that one? Now I'll show you. See here. I'll go to my task, for example, let's say. I'll close the task for the time being. I'll go to my index.css and I'll say, look at that. If I just say H4, I told you the reason, remember? If I say, for example, display flex and see here, what I'll say, justify content and space between, justify content, space between. Look at that, it works here. But do you know wherever my H4 will be in my application, it will implement on that. Do I want that? No. What I want it specifically here. Remember contextual selection? I was saying you, so you'll say dot, what is that class name in the task? Task. So I'll say dot task space H4. Now you know why I was telling you the basics of CSS as well alongside when we're discussing. Because this is called contextual selection. Dot task. Only that H4 that resides inside the task class. Are you guys getting that one? Now, will that impact every H4 on my page? No, on my application. It will just impact one H4 which is inside that. And do you see that X has gone to the very appropriate position? Make sense, everyone? So we are into some good shape. Now project is taking some interesting shape. Yes.
Can we, because the X is an icon here, can we add a button instead of this icon and place this icon inside of the button to act like?
That's a wonderful question. I would invite you to do that in home when you're home. Yes, we can do. He's asking that can we have a button and put this icon on the button? Definitely you can do that. Rather, that would be much better, much good thing to do. But it's up to you. Make sense? Sir? Yes.
Why we are not doing this styling here?
That icon.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we go back to the words?
You mean and why not? You can do it here. In the task also, maybe they would be more than to add focus. If you do it here particularly this the icon, then it would go in this one. That's not but when who tried it didn't happen. Maybe I tried it in wrong way. Maybe for sure.
Having a look?
No.
How is math done? Have you missed it?
I didn't attend.
Oh, you didn't, then that's what?
But I'm getting
You guys going to be,
never.
you guys go to math class?
They attended for 15 minutes.
Yeah, no. In 10 minutes? No, it's like 5 minutes?
Maybe they attended for 10 minutes.
What's that? No,
Exactly. Wait, look up here.
These guys sat on the last bench for 10 minutes.
Right.
Well, this is you guys. I just asked everything. What's the point of it going?
Yeah, you guys have been more supportive. Like 2 minutes. The guys are talking. He said, no, it's all different from. They suddenly back their back and go.
Yes.
Exactly. Right now it's 44, but I have a question. Why we are not doing this time here? Like the back here. For the, like, make it, we can do it, make it, the space will be.
Oh, okay, I got it. That's a very good question. So, Kalyan has asked a question. I would like to discuss that. Kalyan is asking, why not? And it's a very, very valid question. Why not? He says that when we are applying a styling over here, why not do something over here that this icon is, pushed back to the end? You know what I mean? So he's very right. But what I feel is that flex always works very good when you have to, flex out two things. You know why? Whenever this goes smaller or bigger, they will try to maintain their own script. But it's again up to you. If you can find a better CSS, you know what he's asking? If you can find a better CSS that is over here, and you say, okay, maybe margin left is equal to 500 or 300. You know what I mean? Yes, it might work for you. But most of the situations you will see that people would always prefer flex to flex out things. You know what I mean? To provide those space. Someone else was also asking this. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Because why? Because you did not follow my instructions.
You didn't download.
You did not download, you don't install the React. Because while I was telling you, you were discussing something with you related to the topic, but something very. So do you guys understand that one? So React icons need to be installed if you want to use them. Otherwise, it will say, what is this FA times from React icons? Unless you install it, how does it go? Okay. Now let's move forward. Are we good with this one? Everyone? Wonderful. Now, yes. One of the things that I would like to first do that I forgot to do before, but we can do that right now, no problems, no worries, is that remember in header, we are using this button, right? So I'll do what we did, we did last week. I'll very quickly try to do that. I will come in my components and I'll create a component button and you will see that there's a benefit for that. Again, remember button.jsx? Again, the same thing that we have done before. I'm right now not doing anything new, just creating a button component, create button component, and RAFCE, create this button. And remember, it should not return div, it should return what? Button. And let's say I write it add right now. Look at that, everyone. I want to tell you because I'm doing something interesting stuff here. Good, very good. I would like, good. Yes, wonderful. Now see here. Now I want to bring this button instead of this button. So what I'll do, first of all, I'll just remove this and I'll bring the button. I get a blank, of course. Why? Yes, I think you will never forget the import now. I'm intentionally doing that. Button from. Now see here, // button is same level. Don't need to go any folder. Button, hit save. Now see that button is coming up very bad. It has gone back to its legacy, right? Remember? So how can I just very quickly improve that? Go to the button and can I apply a class here? Everyone knows that? Now name is equal to btn. See everyone? Hit save. Look at that button is back to its advanced form. Good. Now I do exactly the same things that we did last week. I want this button to receive text as well as color and change itself. Let's do that very quickly. And again, I'm doing this little bit quickly because from header, I want to pass, for example, I want to say that header, from the header, when I'm calling this button, I'll pass a text attribute and I would say, for example, add right now, and I'll pass a color attribute and I would say, for example, green here. And again, I'm passing two props. Make sense, everyone? I'm passing two props to button. Do I need to catch those props? Yes or no? Of course. I'll go to button. And you know how easy it is to catch the props now? Text and color.
Now look at that. I hope you guys are with me and you will understand that one. Now I'll just come here and I'll say style is equal to double curly bracket. And I would say background color. Now, do you guys remember something? Background color is equal to the color that you have received. And here it should be title, not title, text.
Have I done exactly the same thing that we have done before? So receive text and color and apply style is equal to background color. So you know that in the BTN class, I have given background color black, but now it is coming color green. You know why?
Override it.
Override it. And you know, it's an again interview question. In CSS, the inline style has the highest preference. Right now, I'm like inline style. One more thing I want to discuss. Do you see that background color has come in camel case? Why? Again, it is JSX. It is not normal CSS. Remember in normal CSS, background color used to be background dash color. Remember everyone? But did I tell you at that time that CSS will also become different when we reach to JSX? So it's background color with capital C. Background one word, C capital. Background color. So apply the background color, whatever color has come, and the text should come in between. So you see that add.
Now, what is the benefit of that? You know, I go to the header again and I call this button 3 times. So I'll say the next is, for example, delete. And I would say the color should be red. And the next is, for example, you know, let's say the color should be blue and the text should be pause or something, you know, just trying to make something here.
Do you see that? How interesting it has become. The button component showing different text, showing different. Yes, everyone? Are you texting this code to someone? You're texting this code to someone? Oh, no. Don't text it, right? Okay. So this is highly copyright. Okay. So yeah, it's basically what is that? We have got 3 buttons and every button is coming up with a different. You see that we are just passing the props and it's just receiving the props and displaying that one. Again, I don't need 3 buttons, but I'm again showing you that how interesting it has become now. You just pass something and it just receives that. It displays the color as well. It displays the text as well. Right? Okay.
That was another thing that we had to do. But actually now we have to discuss a very important topic that I would discuss, and we might
Towards the end, you know, we will be reaching towards the end. Now, all of you, I want everyone is good with this one. We have got our project, you know, very good up and running, and you know, it has started to get a shape. Now we have tasks. If I go and I add 4 more tasks, will you see all the tasks over here? Everyone in a different style. Everyone has a cross button to delete that. Everything is there, right? Now I'll give it a little pause to this project and I'll go to the topics. Remember topics? I want to discuss something new.
Now, all of you just come here and go to the topics and create a new component over here. And let's call this component ustate.jsx or whatever you can call it. I've called it ustate.
Ustate.jsx. Ustate. It's a topic, yes. It's a topic. And topic means, you know, what does that mean? It's a specific thing, not related to our directly project, but ultimately we'll implement something in the project with related to this one, right? Ustate.jsx. Everyone has done that?
Now, let's create this component. Let's create this component by closing this. RAFCE. Ustate is created. And I'm not yet bringing it, but let's create that ustate.
And I will bring that back. So it's a ustate component that we have. Make sense, everyone? You understand? We have a new component.
Now I want to bring it on my app. So temporarily, remember, I will remove that later on. And I might want to just close maybe the separate buttons as well. So those I'm not using right now, I'll close that. Go to the app and for the time being, mute the tasks and bring the use state. So we need to import that, right? Import use state, and remember please the command. Now it is just automatically giving me, but it's not giving the correct one. So I'll say slash components slash, where should I go? Topics slash, what is that? Use state, the next one. And now I get the use state over here. And you know, I have temporarily muted my tasks and opened up use state, right? I hope now you will be getting familiar with this. You know, I'll mute that and later I'll just delete that and task will be coming back. So there's no need to worry about it. Now here we are starting a topic and I want all of you to just, maybe leave your machines for a second and try to listen that. Do you remember when we started React last week? I did a balls project. You guys remember that one? There were 2 boxes, 10 balls in one box, 10 balls in one box, or 0 balls in one box. And we had 2 buttons. I had to click a button and the balls were moving from one box to the other. The numbers were updated over there and over there. I would show you that project because today I'm starting the concept. So I'll show you. So in week 9, we did this project in the start. So it was index.html, by the way. And please, it was not a React application. That's why I'm running with this. A lot of people will make this horrible mistake that they will just. So see here, if I just come here and I say right, and I say left. Remember everyone? Oh, I just muted that one. So do you remember that actually we were running 2 variables. One variable was displayed over here and one variable was displayed over here. I just wanted to make you understand the concept. At that time, I told you that whenever there is a change in a variable, I have to go everywhere where this variable is used. And I have to do document.query selector hash that area dot inner text equal to X. Did you guys remember that one? And you can see that right now I've muted this left one. So I don't see the updates. Even the variables are updating behind. Are you guys making sense of it? I told you. And at that time I told you that actually React does it in a very interesting way. He's not listening to me. You're listening to me? I'm talking. Yeah. Oh, you're listening to me? Okay, wonderful. Because otherwise you maybe later on. So now what happens? React does it in a very different way. React defines something which is called state. That defines what? State. State, I told you that day. State is what? All of us sitting in this room, each one of us are in a specific state of mind. Some may be feeling happy, some may be feeling sad, some may be feeling hungry. I know I'm just feeling it. Okay, so everyone is in different state, right? So everyone has certain values with him or with her right now sitting in this room. Make sense, everyone? So state in a React component is what? Every component has certain variables and those variables have a typical value at a particular point of time. Interesting part is, if it was a React application and this was the state variable, so I never had to go into this particular area and update these values. Rather, I just make a change in the state variable. Wherever state variable was used, it would automatically get updated over there. Are you guys getting that one? I'll show you though practically. But do you remember if I've done that? If I mute this, document.query selector hash value 1 X value, change that value. It does not change and it's not changing right now. But I'm saying if it was a React application and it was a state variable. If I had made a change somewhere, XYZ place, wherever I make a change, every place this variable will get updated automatically. I don't need to manually go and do that. Are you guys getting that one? To achieve this state variables in our React, we have a concept which is called, and I will give you some theoretical aspects of that later on. They are called hooks. They are called hooks. But I will tell you a little thing that I might not have discussed before. We have just made components till now, all the function components, be it arrow or be it normal function. Remember everyone? We have made all the components can be of 2 types. I have not discussed the other type. There is another type of component. They are called class components. And for the time being, you just remember this one. You should know that. Their components are of 2 types. One are called class components. One are called function components. We have been continuously talking about function components. We have not touched any class component. Make sense, everyone? Why I'm telling you? I'm telling you because if you get someone's React code and you see class instead of function, you will say we have studied the different React. Where is this class come from? Are you guys understanding that one? So just be mindful that okay, class component is something. Now, why I'm telling you this right now? Class components have something which is called state. To implement that same concept in function components, we have what? Hooks. This is again another interview type of discussion that I'm trying to make you. Sometimes someone might ask you that we maintain state in class components by using state variables. How do we maintain state in the functional component? Your answer should be hooks. Make sense, everyone? If someone asks, okay, I can have a variable that automatically updates everywhere in the class component, and I can define that. How can you do that in function components? You will say what? By using hooks. Make sense, everyone? So hooks are there in function component, the function component that we are discussing, that are there to maintain the state of a component. It's called state of a component. Make sense, everyone? First hook that I would like to discuss today is called use state hook. Now, does it look a little familiar? When we started our project today, I asked you to just remember something. Do you remember there was a button I was clicking and it was keep on changing? And do you remember when I was removing its code, the first line after the function app? Do you guys remember what was the line? Use state. Does a light thing comes in your mind? And you will see that. And I'll show you a new project. But do you see here? We'll first of all discuss what? Use state. What is use state? Now listen, very simply, I'll just discuss that and I'll just implement that. Use state defining one state variable in a function component, and we can use that to maintain the state of that particular component. Make sense, everyone? Use state is the first hook that we are going to use. And again, I'll show it's working, and then you will realize, okay, that's what that, I'm talking about these updations and everything. Now, all of you, have you created the use, and I don't need this one anymore. I don't want to run this one. I'll come back to my project. So you guys have created this use state, a component. Everyone has created that. Now see step number 1. To use state, this hook. You first of all, we import in curly brackets, we say use state. Import use state from React. Now everyone please follow that. Some people will not see it that, and then later on use state will not be working. Use state in curly brackets. Import. By this time, you have realized that import is a very important statement in React. You see that? You need to import everything before doing anything. Import use state. Now, come here and let's call this use state that we have imported. Just write use state and pass a 0 in its parameters. And don't hit save because I'm about to discuss something. Use state 0. Now, let's talk about this theory first and then we'll see practical. When I call use state like this, by passing a value, this value can be number, this value can be Boolean, this value can be string, this value can be object, anything, array, it can be an array, anything. Whenever I define use state like this, it returns me 2 things. How many? 2. It first returns the reference of this value that is stored. What's the value? 0. 0 is stored somewhere in the memory. So it first returns the name of that variable where 0 is stored. And it also returns a method that I can use to change this value. Because this is not a normal variable. Rather, it is what? You understand? State variable. When I say state variable, you should understand there's something different. Make sense? So whenever we call this use state like this, it actually returns 2 things. And see here, don't write it, just see that. It returns 2 things. To catch those 2 things, I will write a const here and square bracket. And I would say x, set x. Now listen. And I want you to just look at this. Don't type anything because you will touch. What are you typing right now? Just look at it and then later on you can type. Otherwise, you will miss. So now what is that? Use state. We have passed 0. So listen, what this statement has done? It has defined a variable, given a value of 0, initialized value, and it is returning 2 things. What are the 2 things? First is the name of the value, the reference of the value, and second is what?
the method that will be used to change that value. Are you guys getting that one? Now here comes the question. Someone will ask, if it is returning, how can I can myself give? So this is the interesting part of this. Use state actually returns these two things, but we can name them whatever we want. So you see what I have named the variable. I've named the variable as x, and I have named the method as set x. Can I give you one or two examples and then we'll just use that? So for example, if I come here, I can say const name set name equal to use state Alan Smith. Are you guys getting that one? Can someone explain me this line of code? This use state has defined a state variable, and what is the initialized value of state variable? Alan Smith. And it is returning two things. The reference to this Alan Smith is stored and a method to change this Alan Smith. Make sense? I can name them anything. What I've named them? I've called the reference to that variable. I've called what? Name. And what is I call method? Usually we always do set word so that we understand this is the method, this is the variable. Are you guys getting that one? And what we are doing? We have destructured then these two values which are returning from there. Make sense, everyone? And I will come back to this Alan Smith thing, but right now I just wanted to show you something. Now, this X is now available. I come here and please have everyone look at that, and then later on you can do that. Karsh, still you are not looking over here, and you will ask me a question and I will not reply you. Now see here. The value of X is, now see here, X. Make sense, everyone? No big deal. If it is a variable, I can just put a curly brackets and I can print the value. Make sense? We have done that so many times. So now, X is the variable, the value is coming up over here. Make sense, everyone? And why I stopped you not to type? Because I'm about to tell you something. If you understand that, later on you will be able to type. Otherwise, if you start typing, you will just miss a lot of things. So now, I will create a button here. I'll create a button here. And this button, I want to say change or maybe say update. I have a button what? Update. Now listen what I want. When I come and click on this update button, this value of this X should become, maybe add 1 to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. Make sense, everyone? Now, how would I do that? How would I have to, I will need to call which function? Do you guys understand that one? Set X. Now I'm telling you what is the way to call that. I will come to this button and I would say, see here, I would say in this button, on click is equal to curly bracket. Now listen, is on click is an event that is attached with every button, every element by you. You guys getting that one? So I'm saying on click of this button, open a curly bracket. I'm about to write some JavaScript. The way to call it is that here we define something which is called a callback function. Are you guys getting that one? Same that we did with the map as well. Remember? Inside that, I would say set X and I would say X plus 1. Now please listen to this. On click, curly brackets. This is called callback function. Remember? Just a callback function. And this inside callback function, I can call set X plus 1. I cannot directly call this set X plus set X. Make sense, everyone? It's just a syntax like this. And I'll show you different ways of doing that. But right now, understand, I cannot directly call this set X. Rather, I'll have to call it like this, set X plus 1. And I'll tell you the reason, very important reason. But right now, can you remember that? Okay. Whenever you have to call some use state method, you have to first of all call a callback function. Inside that, you can call that. Make sense, everyone? Now, let's see here. See here what is happening. If I come here and I click on this update, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I'm clicking on this button, actually, this on click event is triggered. It goes and runs this function, which ultimately calls what? Set X and makes X plus 1. And all the time, it just keeps on increasing. You will be feeling that it's not a big deal. Now, I want to show you something first before we do that. If I come here and I say H1, this is the value of X after update, maybe, let's say, whatever. And now, if I refresh that, now look at that. If I click here, you guys see that what is happening?
You see, wherever I've used this X, is it updating over there? You remember the pain of updating our balls in both of the boxes? I had to go this and I had to go there. Now I have one variable. Wherever I will use that, it will just get updated over there. Are you guys understanding that one? So much so, I can do another very interesting thing. I come here and I say in this function, document.title is equal to X. Now hit refresh, update. Now it will be one step behind, Yeah, we'll just see that. Look at that. You guys see what is happening actually? It's the number is appearing over here as well. It's one behind, but do you guys understand what's happening? We can just handle that one. But you see that everywhere, wherever you have used this X, is it getting updated? This is the concept of a state variable. Now, in my UI, wherever I go, wherever I add an X, that X, whenever it will be incremented, X will be incremented at that place. Are you guys getting? Now, first of all, did you understand the difference or why I did that balls project before and now this one? If it was balls project, I would have used maybe X over there or Y over there, then X would be, it would keep on increasing. And wherever I was using it was just go and update that one. Does that make sense to everyone? Now I would ask all of you to maybe type this one and try this by yourself, and then I'll move forward. Now I would like you to just type this one and try this one, test this and see if any question comes. Now I would allow you to just type everyone. Is fine, everyone? And by the way, the benefit of defining a button class or a button, you can always apply that and the button will start looking not uglier. It will look good, right? Because we have the button Week10 class as well, and we have a Week10 component as well. By the way. We can do anything, if you want to use. Even though that's not part of our discussion right now. Good.
This is legal, no?
Sorry.
You can do this, no? When it's after.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. Here's just, camouflage this here. So just, it won't increment the ad, but it will just show one ad. That's very clever of you. That's good? Yeah. Okay, wonderful. I would be waiting for everyone's response that you have tested this, because I will now change that and I'll just update few things. And I would like to work with the string as well. Why not? Let's work with the string as well. I would be happy to see some people responding that they have done that, tested that one. So I'm not doing anything extraordinary, just changing this H1s to H5, just to make it smaller, because they're looking very bad, very big. Now, can you guys see that I can define a string variable as well as I did? Name, set name equal to use state. And let's pass a name, Christina. I've just defined a name and set name, right? Christina. And what I can do is that just because we are just testing, I can just come here and I can write name here. So Christina will appear over here. No big deal, right? Just with the X, I've written down name, and Christina is the name right now. Now, let's take the same button and make change in that one as well. If I come here and I take away this document.title, I don't need that. Set name. And I say the name should be changed to, so maybe Alicia, right? And I hit save. And when I come and click on update, look at that. The value goes to 1 and the name goes to what? Alicia, whatever I name changed. And if I update again, of course, the name will not change. The name will not change, but of course, the number will keep on changing. Because name is a string and it once changed, it will not be changed. We can do that one as well, but right now it will just change once for time and then it will never change again. Are you guys getting that one? I'm not getting any response from the backside. Are you guys good from the backside? Good? Wonderful. Wonderful. Now it means, so first of all, we are starting to talk about the React state, and it's something we are seriously getting into the React. State maintains the variable values. Make sense? You see that this X has a typical value at one point of time. This name has a typical value. We cannot change this variable like we used to change other variables. I cannot say X is equal to X plus 1. Do you see that? I have to change this by using what? Set X. Only this method will be used. Why? This is a state variable. This is not a normal variable. Make sense? Now, I'll give you one or two more examples. For that, what I'll do is that instead of useState, why not let's create one more, useState2. I'll call it useState2.jsx. I'm just creating one more because just to keep one simple. useState2. And let's create that RFCE. useState2 is ready. Why I'm just working on that? Because I want to show you something more interesting. If I have the object data, look at that. So first of all, I would work on use state. So I'll import in curly brackets, use state from React. Import that. And now come here and let's define an object. So I say let obj is equal to curly brackets, ID 1, name John, age 20. Let's say that. And why not? Let's take one more. Is young true or false? I just want to make a data object. Make sense? And allow me to do one more thing. I hope you will do that with me. Very simple. You know, naming the same will help you out. I'll come here and I'll say U state 2. And I say U state 2. And I say U state 2. Make sense, everyone? And ultimately, we will get the U state 2. You know what I mean? Just to make it simple, because we have to anyhow delete them, right? So now U state 2. I have an object. So for this object, I define const person, set person, right? Is equal to use state and pass obj as the initialized value. Are you guys getting that one? I've done it a little different way. Remember, this is not my state variable. Remember, this is my state variable, but this state variable is ultimately representing this object. Make sense? Because I pass this obj over here. You can do that. You define a normal variable, pass it as a state variable, and then it will become a state variable. Here, person is a state variable. Now, let's display this record of John. I come here in the return div. I'll just come here and I'll just say, for example, I'll say H1, and I would say, for example, curly brackets, and I say person dot ID. Why not? Let's put an ID in H1. And after that, let's say, let's keep it H1 as well. Person dot name appears. And let's keep everything person dot age. And let's say person dot is young. Sorry. Person dot is young. I'm just trying to display the record, right? Person dot ID. You know, this is person now because it was passed in obj. Person dot ID, person dot name, person dot age, person dot is young. I don't see is young. Do you see that? I see ID, I see name, I see age, but I don't see is young. Why? Because is young is what? It's a Boolean. Boolean does not show by automatically. Can someone tell me how can I show that Boolean? ToString. Wonderful. ToString here. And I'm intentionally doing that. Is young dot ToString. It's another thing I need to do. If there is a Boolean value that you want to show also, because this will be true by the way, but it won't show you because true is a logical comparison something. If you want to show it, convert it to the string. It will just now show true. Now, wonderful. We have got this person's record. Now, I want to have a button. I want to have a button, and this is update. So I want to update this user. And why not? I take the facility. Class name equal to BTN. You know, it's something that I've done. So why not? So see, update. Now, in this update, remember how would I do that? I will call onClick event is equal to curly brackets. And remember, I cannot directly call here, but I'll have to do callback function. And inside the body of this callback function, what I'll do? I'll say set person. I'll call set person. And I say the name should be changed. Yes, the name should be changed to, for example, you know, Diana. Sorry, for example. So Diana, the name, I've just changed that one. So I'm saying when I click on that, just change the name. Keep rest things, everything like that. Right? I need a response from everyone, then I'll just, we have got 9 more minutes left before we will end. Can I have a quick response from everyone? Do you understand what I want to do? I have this, I've changed that. I was thinking I've just used, you know, That will be big change, by the way. Right?
Okay, so now see here. What I do that when I click on this button update, the name should be changed from John to Alan Smith, for example. Make sense, everyone? I come here and I click on this button.
I come here and click on this button.
My program goes abnormal, you know, and there is a very solid reason behind that. First of all, let's try to find out the reason. Let's go to the
Inspector. My program has gone abnormal. Console. Look at the error.
The error says uncalled type error cannot read properties of undefined reading to string. Do you remember where I have used this to string with is young? When I click the button, it is unable to find is young. Can someone find out what is the problem? I'm not asking you. Can someone find out what is the problem here? It is not finding is young. It was there. If I refresh that, look at that.
If I refresh that, this all is here and there is no error. Look at that. When I click on update, the problem occurs. The problem comes and it says, I don't find is young.
Can anyone tell me what is the problem, potential problem? Amjad, can you guess that? I would like someone to come up and guess. Yeah. Okay. I've already set person. It says that I don't find is young. It's doing something abnormal. I need someone to come up with the right. Roman, can you guess that? Any idea? No?
Everything get deleted.
Yeah, sure. I expect that you will. Yeah. Okay. Just hold on. Amjad, you were saying the right thing. Yes.
You basically delete everything, just put name.
That's the answer. And I was hoping that this answer will come from any one of you. And I'm really happy about it. Because you know, he's Henry, that's why. Okay. Now listen, he's very right. You know, this is very right. You know what has happened? When I say set person name, actually what has happened? This all object, the person object is overridden and just there is name attribute now. Nothing is left. Are you guys getting that one? And that is why, since I had called toString with this one, it says, what is this is young? I don't know. Because is young is gone. You know, name is there, ID is gone, email is gone, whatever, age is gone, and is young is gone. Just name is there.
And you know, if you want to see that really happening, I will just take away this from here. You will see the output will come. You know, I'll show you something interesting. If I just click here,
do you guys see the difference? What I'm getting only, Alan Smith. You feel it's very abnormal? Because I was looking for the rest of the record should be there. Just the name should change from John to Alan Smith. Why in the world it is happening? You guys understand that one? Should I tell this today or in the next class? We'll keep it for the next class. But do you see a little problem over here? That an object gets overridden when we just update one field. So we don't update this field like this. Rather, we have to use a little trick here to update an object's values. Make sense, everyone? And you see that I've shown you, if there was no outside function was called, it never minds that, okay, there is no age, there is no young, there is ID. It never minds. It shows the name. And you see that everything else is gone. So when there was a toString called, it said, why are you calling toString? There is no is young. Why? Because is young is deleted. Make sense, everyone?
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed today's session. I hope most of you understood most of it. And you know, we'll just try to continue with this one. And it's a really, really interesting project. We are learning side by side and trying to create a project out of it. Make sense? Something. Yeah, so you are all good to go.
Statements don't. It's not gonna fit. Because we didn't sign. Here you are not creating, here you are one from the one task. And then like 30 or 60 years, I was like, what's up? And then I go back, it's like.
Are we